Welcome to Analog Tabletop.
Hello and welcome to Last Week on Kickstarter, where I show 10 noteworthy games that launched in the past week. All Kickstarter links will be in the description at the bottom. All costs are in euros or United States dollars. Let's get to it.
In Pret-a-Porter, you take control over a young company in the fashion industry. You start the game with your company board, $40,000, and 2 promising designs. During the game, you will sign contracts with other companies, expand your infrastructure and build new buildings, grow your team, and hire new employees. Your company will gain new designs and then produce them. Each design has its own style, type of cloth, other materials needed for completion, and its revenue value. That's how much your company will earn after producing it. You can buy materials locally for a low price, or you can buy it from distributors for a higher price but better quality. Finally, you can choose to import it from the best manufacturers. The price is high, but the quality is unmatched. After you produce your collection, you attend fashion shows to display your creations. There are 4 shows during the game for you to exhibit, and your collection will be judged in 4 different features. Being the best in these features will earn you prestige, and you'll sell your collection for even more money. Back this project now and help us make a new edition of Pret-a-Porter a reality.
Pret-a-Porter is a worker placement economic game to where you run a company in the fashion industry. The Kickstarter is for a new edition of the game. Pret-a-Porter costs $60. This Kickstarter ends July 22nd and plans to deliver of October of this year.
Hi there, everybody. It's me, Trolley Tom, and this is my trolley. Here I go, just speeding along as trolleys do. But wait, what's that there on the track? Oh shit, oh my. There's a kitten cuddling a puppy on the track, and I'm headed right towards it. Maybe I'll pull my lever and go down that other track instead, but oh no, look at that. Oh, a kiddie pool full of babies. Oh no, this is real bad. This sounds like a real moral life or death decision here. Oh lordy, oh my, this sounds like a real premise for a card game.
Welcome to Trial by Trolley, a game where you have to make difficult ethical choices by murdering people with a trolley. 2 teams lay out their tracks using guilty cards, innocent cards, and modifiers. Then one person acts as trolley operator.
That's me.
And has to decide which track to go down, dealing fatal trolley damage to everyone in their path.
A scientist that literally just discovered the cure for cancer.
Yeah, but is it real?
Cancer?
But here's an owl that is carrying your Hogwarts acceptance letter.
Yes.
Oh shit.
Oh my god.
So good luck.
You will be ridiculed because you're an adult going to a
a good
children's
point,
school.
yeah.
This is a pedophile going to a playground.
Oh no.
Hope you make the right decision, you monster. No pressure or anything.
Rosalind Franklin did not die so we could throw this woman under a trolley.
I mean, if you go that way, your train goes straight on the platform. 9 3/4, my friend.
You went to Hogwarts and you got cancer.
I mean, there's a spell for that. I'm sure.
Trial by Trolley is being made by Skybound, the people who brought you Super Fight, and Cyanide and Happiness, the creators of Joking Hazard. Explain yourselves, Skybound and the other guy.
Hello, I'm Rob from Cyanide and Happiness.
James from Skybound Games.
And we are making a game together called Trial by Trolley. I've been a fan of Skybound for a long time, especially Red Flags and Super Fight, 2 of my all-time favorite card games.
Yeah, and we're huge fans of Cyanide and Happiness and Rob and his team, and we were like, this game would be perfect in your atmosphere, your world. We hit him up, and he didn't kick us out, so here we are. What I love about this game, Rob, is the murder.
Oh yeah, there's so much murder and so many difficult choices being put on one person.
Do I kill this pool full of babies, or do I stop the next Hitler?
Yeah, that's the tale as old as time.
I suppose in your game, Hitler gets to live.
What? Those modifier cards really amp the game up. It makes it different every time you play.
Oh yeah, it starts out easy and it gets complicated to the point where you're making these indefensible arguments just to get your side to win. You have to make a choice.
The Kickstarter really does allow us to put a lot of extra content in the game that would never get into a retail edition of a game.
Using Kickstarter is also going to give us a chance to use our friend Trolley Tom here to take you guys on a very interesting journey over the next 30 days. He's going to be making some very difficult ethical dilemmas with your help.
Helping Trolley Tom is going to unlock rewards and other little shinies that you're going to be really excited about.
I love shinies.
Severed finger again.
We've been working on Trial by Trolley behind the scenes for a while, and we're finally bringing it to the world with your help on Kickstarter. So come along for the ride. We're going to unlock some cool rewards in the process, help Trolley Tom make some tough decisions. All aboard.
Well, babies it is. That's it for the Kickstarter video. I'll be seeing you real soon. Maybe sooner than you hope. If you're tied to my track, that is. People will die.
Trial by Trolley is a card party game that explores a classical philosophical ethics trolley problem by using the art from Cyanide and Happiness. Players play cards on one of two railways, either enticing the conductor to go for that track, killing everyone in its way, or convincing them to go down the other track. Trial by Trolley costs $25. The Kickstarter ends August 7th and plans to deliver of December of this year. Using the ethical trolley problem as gameplay seems like a great idea. This is why I'm giving this my Kickstarter of last week.
Hi, my name is Ellie Maman and I come to you presenting you the game Vector Wars.
Vector Wars. Men and women from all around the world are signing up to do their part for their nation. Fight on the grid for the energy your people need. Take your faction and your combat dice, and with just a quick setup, you're ready to start the ultimate battle. Get help from the market, where you can buy some of the latest experimental battle tech. Tactically place your soldiers to gain domination over the grid and build your route to victory. Team Deathmatch. Players start with 9 characters each, with individual abilities, strengths, and weaknesses. Win by collecting credits, Zeta orbs, and keeping the soldiers you kill as trophies. Vector Wars comes with 2 free expansions. Light the Grid. Earn Zeta orbs by completing a secret mission to control parts of the grid. Capture the flag. Be the last man standing holding the flag and become a hero. Vector Wars, the game that makes a hero a legend.
Vector Wars is a team deathmatch capture the flag area control game. Set in a cyber future, you use your specialized team of combatants in dice-driven combat, get the most out of the Zeta orbs and claim victory. Vector Wars costs $40. This Kickstarter ends August 8th and plans to deliver in February of 2020.
In Knights of Glory, you play as one of the king's knights, advancing through a treacherous dungeon. By using the art of deception and deduction, you seek the ultimate goal of exiting the dungeon first and becoming the Royal Games victor. Knight of Glory is played in rounds, each consisting of 3 phases: action, voting, and refreshing. When advancing, look at the tier path ahead of you. If the tier path is face down, flip it over to see what obstacle you must overcome. You will roll the weapon dice and try to match the dice with your weapon cards by placing them face down. During the voting phase, opponents will cast their votes. If you were telling the truth or bluffing, and all your opponents agreed, then you will not have to reveal your cards and get to advance forward. Now, if you were telling the truth, any opponents that disagreed, you must reveal your cards. then you get to advance forward, and any opponents that disagreed must retreat backwards. Now, if you were bluffing, then you must retreat backwards, and alternatively, the opponents that disagreed will get to advance forward. Throughout the game, there are many ways that help make advancing easier, such as playing a wild card for a die, performing a substitution, playing a Knights of Glory token, or even rolling blanks so you don't have to play a card. When a player successfully advances to the exit path, the tier paths will gradually collapse, starting with the start and all of Tier 1 together. Any players that successfully advance to the exit path during this phase are considered winners as well. So, do you have what it takes to exit the dungeon first and win the Royal Games?
Knights of Glory is a quick, bluffing, family-friendly game. You play as a knight trying to make your way through a series of dangerous dungeon rooms. The knights that successfully make it to the exit win. Knights of Glory costs $25. This Kickstarter ends August 10th and plans to deliver in November of this year.
Welcome to the world of complexity, a simple game of complex city building for all aliens across the stars. As the light of a sun winks out in a galaxy, billions of displaced alien families find themselves looking for a new place to call home. A new planet has been chosen to host these wanderers, but coordinating the relocation of 4 species may prove to be no small task. Complexity is a strategic tile-laying game for 2 to 4 players, where you are a representative of the Allied Galactic Command, tasked with building a city of complexes for the Terramorphs, Neridians, Phytons, and Replicants. Build a city worthy of the ambassadors. Arrange your complexes most efficiently. Harness the abilities of these diverse species. Fulfill initiatives to gain the most growth. Will your city sector be chosen as the new starting place for these hopeful aliens? The Allied Galactic Command wishes you the best of luck in complexity.
Complex City is a tile-placing city-building game where players create new living spaces for displaced space aliens. Build complexes and use your abilities to outwit your opponents. Spend your victory points to gain an advantage and more victory points. Complex City costs $39. This Kickstarter ends July 30th and plans to deliver in May of 2020.
Welcome to the mines, where rare metals are hewn from the rock, forged into alloys, and then crafted into precious artifacts by your people, the dwarves. This is the game Dwarf, designed by Lee Broderick and published by Dragon Dawn Productions. You and 2 of your friends can compete to contribute the most to the legacy of your people while trying to defend your home from the creatures who would invade. The action takes place on a grid of cards laid out in a 3x3 pattern. Each of these cards is a location in the mine where your workers gather their resources, create new alloys, and forge precious weapons and armor. But beware of the creatures who come to steal your resources and prevent you from doing your work. The dwarves must defend against these invaders, and in doing so, they receive the glory they deserve. The winner is the player who can collect the most steel, gold, and items, and has a majority of these 3 categories. The game plays in about 15 to 20 minutes, and it is suggested for players ages 10 and up. Help us achieve our goal, and you too can experience the legend and glory of Dwarf.
Dwarf is a worker placement game played on a changing board. Place workers to mine metals, defend the mines, forge metals, and work with your opponents to defend the society or not. For $25, you can get a copy of this game. The Kickstarter ends July 25th, 2019 and plans to deliver in May of 2020.
10 years have passed since dinosaurs were reintroduced to the world. As global interest started to wane, technological supergiant Intelligent Designs has found a way to bring prehistoric aquatic lifeforms back from extinction. The industry will never be the same again. Dinogenics Controlled Chaos is a big box expansion that offers new ways for players to develop and control their dinosaur parks. For the first time, players are able to create prehistoric aquatic lifeforms using a new, separate, aquatic DNA deck and house them in brand new double-wide facility tiles. Double-wide facilities offer game-changing abilities and open the doors for new, exciting strategies. Controlled Chaos also introduces a new resource type in the form of refined DNA. Players can now pay Intelligent Designs to refine a DNA card into refined DNA, a resource capable of filling part of the genetic recipe for any dinosaur species. Finally, as your park expands, you may find that specialization is the key to your success. Hire specialists from the underground job market and benefit from their unique skills and talents, enabling surprising endgame scoring bonuses that may just push you over the top. But be careful. With all these new abilities comes new danger. New breaking news and manipulation cards will cause brand new types of chaos for parks of all kinds, and even enable more underhanded ways to win. Back Dinogenics Controlled Chaos on Kickstarter's day and take control of the chaos.
Dinogenics Controlled Chaos is an expansion and reprint of Dinogenics. Dinogenics is a worker placement game where players try to build the best dinosaur park by building dinosaurs, harvesting DNA, and building park amenities. Controlled Chaos adds aquatic dinosaurs and new ways to develop your park. This expansion costs $34 or $98 that also includes the base game. This Kickstarter ends August 8th, 2019 and plans to deliver on February of 2020. Enchanter's Odyssey is an expansion and reprint of the base game Enchanters, as well as its first expansion, Enchanter's Overlords. Enchanters is a card drafting game where you go questing to gain items and enhancements to defeat monsters and score points. The new expansion adds variables, starting powers, a co-op and solo mode, 6 new decks of cards and featuring a mythological theme, as well as reprints of previous misprinted cards. Designed by Rafal Siwicki and published by Gindi, Enchanter's Odyssey costs $30. This Kickstarter ends July 30th, 2019 and plans to deliver May of 2020. Potato Inferno is a fast-paced card game where players play potato cards to raise the heat level. If a player raises the heat above 100, they are eliminated. Use toppings, condiments, and cutlery to bring down the heat, gain an advantage, and attack your opponent to be the Potato King. This is their first Kickstarter and first game. Get a copy of the base game for $14. This Kickstarter ends August 11th and plans to deliver on December of 2019.
Margraves of Valeria is a hand-building worker placement game for 2 to 5 players. You are a Margrave, a military commander tasked with defending the land of Valeria and building magical ward towers. Command knights to slay monsters or activate locations in an effort to gain influence over the 4 guilds. Do you have what it takes to outmaneuver your fellow Margraves and become the next Royal Commander? Pledge for your copy today and get some free bonus packs.
Margraves of Valeria is a hand-building worker placement game in a fantasy world. Cards can be used in 4 different ways, offering varied strategy. Gain influence in the 4 guilds to gain the most victory points to win. Margraves of Valeria costs $49. This Kickstarter ends August 7th and plans to deliver of April of 2020. And that's it for this last week on Kickstarter. What games did you like from this video? Comment down below. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope to hear from you next week.